opening bell of the NFL Stock Exchange podcast. I'm Trevor Sikkema. That is Connor Rogers. Today's a Monday edition of the podcast, but it's not a mock draft Monday, Connor. I'd say it's a little bit more exciting, though. As we are getting to the eve of the college football season getting kicked off, the eve of the NFL season getting kicked off, we figured that we had to give the good people a show big board for the 2023 NFL draft. There's been so many episodes, so much time, so many words between the two of us and getting to interact with a lot of the fans talking about summer scouting, breaking down all the positions going into this season, what the 2023 NFL draft can look like. Now we're actually going to organize it. You and I have our individual big boards. We're going to talk about them amongst each other for the first time. I will add, for the first time, come together, give you guys an NFLSE top 50 2023 NFL draft big board heading into the season. It's going to be a good time, bud.
Dude, I mean, we did all of the legwork for this, so you got to finish off the project here. I mean, why not? So it's exciting. I really appreciate everybody that's left a nice comment saying how much they enjoyed the summer scouting series, that followed along with us. It goes to show you something I can't reiterate enough, how many diehard year-round draft fans there are. It's not just a month lead-up event for them or a season for them. It's the entire year. They love it, and it's been really cool to have them along for the ride with us. And today is a little bit of our Christmas here, where we build a big board for the show that people can reference when people are turning on college football. They can look at players to watch. And what's kind of cool, Trevor, is we will highlight throughout the season. We will have a reference point to call back to show how things change throughout the process that is the NFL draft.
Yeah, a big theme of this show obviously is stock market, stock up, stock down. And we wanted to give you guys not just our rankings during the summer, but something that we could always go back to where we've got these big boards fully established to where we can say, hey, 4, 5, 6 weeks into the college football season, this guy's stock's on the rise. This guy's playing better than I thought he was, or this guy's not playing as well as I thought he was. Maybe the hype that we had during the summer was a little bit too much. So we could do those stock up, stock down segments that we're really looking forward to getting into during the season. The way that we're going to do this, guys, and it's interesting because I've never publicly put out a preseason big board before. I've always had like organized thoughts. I've done summer scouting before.
I have either.
But I've never publicly put out a preseason big board. So this is new for me. This is new for you, at least having our thoughts as organized as this. So what we figured, the way that we would do this is we're going to go in increments of 5 to start it. I'll give you my top 5 on my big board. Connor will give you his. We'll kind of come together. We'll set up our own little top 5. We'll then give 5 more, rounding out the top 10. We'll then organize the show's collaborative big board. Then top 10. We'll go 5 up to 15, 5 up to 20. And then once we get to 20, we'll go in increments of 10. We'll go 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50 to round out the show. So we'll be able to kind of see who each of us are a little bit higher on, because it's one thing to do position by position rankings and say, oh, okay, I like this guy a little bit more than you. But it's another thing entirely to put all the positions together and say, okay, wow, you really like this class a little bit more than I do for a certain position and things like that. So that's what's going to make this episode, I think, very, very interesting, is seeing that position by position valuation between the two of us.
We're basically going to work together like co-GMs or however you want to look at it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
There's going to be times where we have to come together on a player and find common ground and see how we evaluate him as a franchise. So I think that's what makes this exercise special. Although I will say that divisiveness will probably kick in more from 10 and on. I think things will change during the season, but right now with what you're given to evaluate over the summer, Trevor, I don't want to say the top 5 was clear, but the players that hovered around there, I was like, these guys are really good.
Yeah, I think that we're for sure going to have 4 of the same top 5 players, but then actually who I think is going to be at number 5 might be up for debate, and that might be where we really start to get into a little bit of back and forth. We're going to dig right into it, but before we do that, got to do everybody's favorite ad read. Gentlemen, you guys out there listening to the podcast, all men strive for gold in their life, right? You got gold medals, you got gold watches, gold everything. That is the standard. However, there's a certain type of man who goes the extra mile. He walks in the confidence of an eagle, and he giggles in the face of danger. He is a big, hairless, winning machine, and when he unzips his pants, he sees platinum. That's right. Manscaped would like to introduce to you guys the best and biggest ultimate hygiene bundle yet, the Platinum Package 4.0. Manscaped is the leader in below-the-waist grooming. Now you can trust them with the whole shebang. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com. Getting 20% off for free shipping if you use the promo code NFLSE. So it used to be PFF. Now, if you guys go, if you've ever been on the fence about it and you want to order it, please use our promo code NFLSE. It helps this podcast out a ton. Manscaped brings the new Platinum Package 4.0 as their biggest bundle that they have ever given you guys for a bulk discount on Manscaped's top products. 20% off when you use that promo code NFLSE to help out this podcast. It's time that you enjoy the finer things in life. Get yourself a Platinum Package for your Platinum Package. While I'm here, I also want to mention that anybody out there who might not have a PFF subscription, now you can get a free PFF Plus, which I know it's kind of confusing. The packages at PFF.com used to be an Edge subscription, a college subscription, an Elite subscription. We have totally simplified it for you guys. We're making it way easier. It's one subscription, one-stop shop. You get everything. It's called PFF Plus now, and it is a fraction of the price. It's not that $200 price tag that it used to be. I believe it's $80 a year if you sign up for it. But if you never had PFF before, it is. I mean, like, you and I watch all this film and get all these grades and have all these references because of the PFF tools. It makes it so much easier for us. So if you're a big draft fan,
process for the better.
Go check it out, pff.com. Go look for the PFF Plus subscription. That's how you can get it. All right, buddy. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's hear your top 5. I wish we could do like keep the suspense alive and like wait to see you number, but there's no way to do it.
It's so funny.
We just can't do it.
When you texted me this morning, I was like, I was gonna ask. I was like, what order are we gonna do? And then I was like, we can't build up to one.
No, we can't.
That's serial killer.
We would have been so far on opposite ends of the spectrum to like start at number 50. So we've got to have a bigger common ground to start things off. So give me your top 5. Let's rattle them off, and then I'll give you mine, and then we can kind of discuss from there.
All right, my number 1 overall player in this class. I'm not going to be first take here. I'm not going to be a contrarian. It's Will Anderson.
He's real original.
Yeah, I know. Look at this
original.
guy. Look at this guy. Real scout. Real boots in the arena scout. All right, Will Anderson, number 1. Jalen Carter, number 2. So I did have both of these guys ahead of the quarterbacks in the class.
Okay.
And I think just right now they are higher graded players, more complete players. I've said on both pods with you, and I know you've said it back to me, both these guys can play in the NFL today at a pretty high level. So then it gets a little more interesting. 3, CJ Stroud. He's my QB1 in this class going into the season.
Yep.
4, Bryce Young. He is my QB2 going into this class. And then 5, Jackson Smith and Jigba was number 5 overall. Trevor, I'll be honest with you. 1 through 4, it took me about 3 seconds to punch them in my Excel sheet. I was like, these are the guys. Number 5, I did have a handful of players that I could have put there, but I went with Jackson just because I thought he's been insanely productive. He's pretty polished himself. So I value wide receiver pretty highly. So he fit number 5 for me.
So I figured that we would have 4 of the same top 5, and I wondered if we would hit 5 for 5. We did not hit 5 for 5. My number 1 player is Will Anderson. My number 2 player is also Jalen Carter. And I'm not gonna lie, dude. I went into this weekend, and when we were going through summer scouting, I had Jalen Carter as player 1. When I watched him,
crazy.
I had him as my number 1 player in this class. And this weekend, I went back and I made sure to kind of look up a lot more stats and even a lot more context than I could about both of those guys. I went head to head, Will Anderson and Jalen Carter. And I ended up putting Will Anderson at number 1 just because he seems to be even more in control and aware of the rare gifts and abilities that he has. Everything that he does feels so calculated, controlled, and dominant at the same time. Jalen Carter has still this insane untapped potential, but he was in a pretty deep rotation at Georgia, right? This year, we now get to see him in a full-time role, and not just a full-time role, but he is the focal point, right? The offensive lines are going to be looking to double Jalen Carter and put extra bodies on Jalen Carter first and foremost. I don't think that was the case last year. How could it be? They had Jordan Davis, they had Devontae Wyatt, they had Trayvon Walker, they had all of those guys, right? So a lot of those players are now gone, even the linebackers behind him, and it's going to be simply Jalen Carter right now. So even though I think that there's plenty of snaps out there where he can take on double teams and look unbelievable doing it, I ended up giving Will Anderson the edge just because he has seemed to be more in control and dominant and aware and controlled of what his special abilities are. So I got those guys at 1 and 2. I got Bryce Young at number 3 because he was my QB1. Got CJ Stroud at number 4. And then I have Myles Murphy from Clemson at number 5. And this is a big potential push for me because I think when we talked about this during summer scouting, you correct me if I'm wrong, I wasn't blown away with Myles Murphy in where he currently is as a prospect. But man, I mean, like the raw ability, the ball of clay that he is still there. So he's still figuring out, he's still refining how to be that kind of a pass rusher. But the power that he plays with and that athletic ability that you see in flashes, it was too much for me to keep him too far down this list. So I think we've got the same 4 here. I mean, we're flipping a coin between Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. I feel like can we give it to Bryce Young at number 3 just out of respect for the fact that he won the Heisman last year? Can we just give him the spot at 3?
This is not a battle that I'm gonna, get real aggressive here back at you. I'd be just doing it for showmanship if I did, because I have them 3 and 4. Like there's not, and if you want to hear our reasons, this isn't going to be the show that we redo the shows we did all summer. There is a NFLSE playlist with every position group. We had a long conversation about Stroud versus Bryce Young. I had Stroud 1, Trevor had Young number 1. You can listen to a long spiel on that there. The point is these guys are very close, and it's great for the draft that we have a quarterback battle, not for like a Pickett, Malik Willis battle, like a battle for guys that can go number 1 overall.
I was just talking this morning to somebody about CJ Stroud, actually. He's a good friend of mine, and he's an Ohio State fan, and he was asking me kind of about what I've seen during the summer because he knows I do summer scouting. And I told him, man, it's the same thing that I said on the show. I went into that thinking that CJ Stroud was just going to be a facilitator. That I looked at that offense, that offensive line, the running backs, all the wide receiver and receiving talent that they have at Ohio State, the offense that they play in, and how easy it's been to manufacture so many great stats over the years in Columbus. But CJ Stroud's awesome. He's a legit quarterback prospect, and so he can't be, I think, anywhere below number 4 when you're doing these things. I'm going to hold off on number 5 because you mentioned Jackson Smith and Jigba, and since we put Bryce at number 3 and CJ Stroud at number 4, if Smith and Jigba was close for me, I would just put him at number 5, but he's not. He's not very close to number 5 for me. So let's move on and see if we might be able to get more of a common ground here. I want to hear your 6 through 10. And if we got to kind of bend the rules a little bit, get all the way to 15 to get a bigger scope of prospects, we can. But who is your 6 through 10 here?
So 6 through 9 were all contenders to be number 5. I think they'd be graded. Okay. They'd pretty much have the same grade that Jackson Smith and Jigba has. He's just sitting at 5. 10, not so much, but still a good player. 6, Myles Murphy, edge from Clemson. You had him at 5, correct?
I had him at 5, so he's probably going to be 5 for us on the board then.
7, Michael Mayer, the tight end from Notre Dame, who I loved in this class and think he's well earning of a top 10 preseason ranking.
Oh, man.
Siaki Ika, from Baylor at 8. He was somebody that I really wanted to put at 5, easily could have. One of my favorite players I watched all summer.
Wow.
Antonio Johnson, the safety we just did last week from Texas A&M at 9. And then Keely Ringo, the cornerback from Georgia, was at 10.
Okay, I'm filling this out as we go here, so I'm going to try to be as efficient as possible here. The ones
I offered to pace them for you. Trevor just likes doing things the hard way.
You mean yours? Okay, you can pace yours as we go through it.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, you can do that. You can do that as we move on. I'm trying to put it into the NFLSE big board, and so that was your 6 through 10.
Yep.
I've got so many damn tabs open right now. My 6 through 10.
It's melting, and we didn't even get through the first 10 players in the show, folks.
We're trying, folks. We're trying. Antonio Johnson. So I think that he's got to be next for us. I think he's got to be that 6th player on our big board because both of us collectively have him so high here.
Yep.
Just an unbelievable type of safety. We talked about him most recently last week when we finished up summer scouting, going over the safety class. Rare size, speed, strength, recognition, versatility. That kind of ability that you find in a safety, it just doesn't come around very often. Connor, you said it in that episode. We didn't think we were going into the safety class thinking we had a guy that was this high, and we ended up being both very impressed by him, clearly. Number 7 for me, I had Andre Carter, the edge rusher from Army. Number 8, I have Keely Ringo, the cornerback from Georgia, who this is my first little stock up, stock down, because over the last 2 or 3 days, I've taken a look at my rankings. I've looked at a little bit more film of these guys. I've put in some extra context, and I have a couple of guys that I brought up in my rankings. This is one of them. I bumped Eli Ricks down a little bit on my cornerback rankings after kind of looking at the situation with what he's going through at Alabama, how he might not start right away. I still love the ability, but maybe just not as bullish on him.
A gutless move.
Watched a little bit more tape of him over the last couple of years. And there are a little bit too many times where he's guessing and not exactly knowing his assignments, him not picking up the playbook at Alabama as quickly as you want to. Maybe there's kind of a correlation there. So still love the ability with Ricks, but maybe just not as bullish because a couple of these other guys, Ringo and Cam Smith, definitely playing a little bit more confident than he is right now. So I bumped him a little bit down. So I got Ringo at 8. Isaiah Foskey, I have him at number 9. I liked Foskey.
Not in my top 50.
Not in your top 50?
Not in my top 50.
Whoa.
He wasn't. When we did the Edge show.
Not in your top 50?
No. When we did.
Bro, he's way too good to not be in your top 50.
I mean, he's fine. He's not a bad player. He wasn't a top. So I have a pretty clear top 7 edges right now, and he is not in there.
No way.
Yeah, no. He's fine. He's not a bad player. I didn't think there was anything special that stood out as a rusher at the moment. And that's all I care about preseason.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Wow, you have him top 10?
Yeah.
Whoa. Was he in your top 5 edges when we did that show?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
So I have a crap ton of edge rushers in my top.
Yeah, me too. I really like the edge class.
Yeah, you don't have Isaiah Foskey.
No.
You're out of your mind. The long arm is chef kiss.
Listen, I'll come around on him if I'm wrong. I mean, we'll get him on the top 50. You have him in the top 10. I don't have him in the top 50. He's got to be in the top 30.
We got to get him somewhere. But yeah, dude, I got Foskey at 9, and then okay. I've got Brian Bresee at number 10, and. You know, I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't love it. And it's not a shot at Brian Bresee at all. It's really not. He definitely has that ability. But certainly over the last couple of years, what Clemson has asked him to do has not allowed him to really refine that elite athletic ability. So instead, you see a lot of those flashes of athleticism. And I had Bresee a lot lower on this list kind of when I started retooling this big board. And just as I was moving people around a little bit, favoring athleticism, favoring potential, wanting to make sure I get good top-tier athletes that aren't capped ceiling-wise with athleticism up high on this big board. He kind of crept his way up, and so I've got him there at number 10. So that's kind of the way. The commonalities that we have there, we've got to have Myles Murphy at number 5 because you had him at 6, I had him at 5. We've got Antonio Johnson in there, so I think Antonio Johnson's next, and I think Keely Ringo is sitting there at number 7. Did we have anybody else who was
Did you talk about Ika? Where are you on Ika? So you like Bresee better than Ika?
I do like Bresee better than Ika, and I had that in the show, right?
I strongly do not.
I had Bresee at number 2, and I had Ika at number 3. I do have Ika,
but I could have swore you said to me, "I wish I did this" on that show, or something close to that.
It's close.
I might be mixing up shows.
It's close. So like, I have Ika in my top 20.
Okay, good. That's good.
I have Ika.
I can live with that.
Where is he? He is 20. He's 20 for me. So I have him number 20. So we're gonna get his name on this list for sure. At some point soon. Who's your 11 through 15? Let's see if we can get. We're gonna get Jackson Smith and Jigba in these next next couple of picks here.
11 through 15, Quentin Johnston, the wide receiver from TCU. Said on that show, I almost put him number 1.
Okay.
I loved him.
Okay.
12, Bijan Robinson, just an absolute superstar running back, but more than a running back for Texas. I mean, offensive weapon in the mold, a 3-down mold kind of guy.
Sure.
13, Broderick Jones, my top tackle out of Georgia. 14, Trenton Simpson, the linebacker out of Clemson. And 15, Kayshon Boutte, the wide receiver at LSU.
So I think the way that we're going to do this, because mine 11 through 15 I've got Cam Smith, the corner from South Carolina. I have...
I have Cam at 18, so I'm high on him too.
Okay, so then he's going to come into play here. So then at number 12, I have Felix Anudike-Uzomah for the edge rusher from Kansas State.
He's on my top 50.
Okay, but he's low. What was he?
47.
Okay, so he's way lower for your man. I'm way higher on this edge class, I guess, than you are. I have Quentin at 13.
We just see it differently. Yeah, on it. No, you are high.
That's fine. That's fine.
I
got Quentin at 13. I got Trenton at 14, and then I got Smith and Jigba at 15.
Okay.
So
we're pretty close on the wide receivers.
Decently close. I think next for me would have to be, I think would Quentin have to be next for us? Because Quentin would be.
Yes.
I think he's got to be next if he's that high on my list. Let me copy paste my list so you're not just guessing about mine.
Yep. That would help. I could interject here if I have your list. Good podcast.
Good podcasting. We're figuring it out, people. Okay, so
it is.
Yeah. So you said you have Cam at 8. So yeah, I think Quentin Johnson's got to be 8.
Oh, we both have Trenton Simpson at 14.
Yep.
So we're pretty high on him.
Okay.
Well, we got to get Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I think he'd be 10.
Yeah, I think so too.
Quinn Johnson, Trenton Simpson. You said you had Cam Smith. I think we would then go
18th.
Cam Smith because you have him 18 and I have him 11. I think we'd then go Cam Smith, and then we would go Siaki Ike.
So I have Andre Carter at 17, and you have him at 7. So he's got to be pretty high up here.
Yeah, actually, we'll put him at 12, and then we'll put Ike after him. All right. I don't hate this.
It's coming together.
Coming along.
All right, so let's update the people where we're at right now.
I'm still gonna fight you over Isaiah Foskey, but maybe I'm a fool.
6 was Antonio Johnson, 7 was Keely Ringo, 8 was Quentin Johnson, 9 was Trenton Simpson, 10 was Jackson Smith and Jigba, 11 was Cam Smith, 12 Andre Carter, 13 Siaki Ika, 14 Bijan Robinson.
Yeah,
I say running back is in the top 15 on a Pro Football Focus podcast.
Oh no, you can't say those words out loud.
I'm proud of it. He's freaking awesome.
No, Bijan's the man. You and I talked about this on the running back pod. What he can bring as a receiver. I mean, there are times where he lines up as a slot, right? I mean, like they will use Bijan Robinson in any way, shape, and form.
Yeah,
that's how you get guys with a ton of value, especially on an early big board. Give me your 16 through 20. Give me your 16.
Okay,
let's see.
16 Paris Johnson Jr. from Ohio State.
There's a couple of names. Michael Mayer.
Where do you have him? Well, you have Gilbert over him still, right?
I do, but they're close. They are close.
You will be happy to know Gilbert made the top 50 for me. After I didn't have him in the top 5 tight ends. He's 50th.
Okay.
Because I knew. Well, number one,
well, look, we were getting Arik Gilbert into this. We're getting Isaiah Foskey into this.
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes.
Okay, so a couple of outlier names that we have so far. Michael Mayer, Kayshon Boutte, Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
I think everybody else is kind of accounted for at this moment.
Yep.
Felix Onidike Azuma, you have not mentioned yet.
No, but I do really like him.
Where is Brian Brzee for you?
20. Okay,
so then he's probably 15 on the show's big board, right in the middle, because I have him at 10.
Okay, yeah, that's how it usually works.
Hey, math, baby.
Math is helpful.
What up?
16, Paris Johnson Jr., the now tackle from Ohio State. Where do you have him?
I have Paris Johnson 35, but
so he'll be in the 20s.
I was a little bit more gun shy about him because you were like, okay, here's the ability, we see it here. Yeah. I'm going to project it to tackle. I'm a little bit more reserved on it, so that might be a early stock up player, but we'll see.
17, Andre Carter, we already got him on the board.
Yep.
18, Cam Smith, we already got him on the board.
Yep.
19th, Peter Skoronsky, the offensive lineman from Northwestern. 20 was Brzee.
I also have Peter Skoronsky at exactly 19. Wow. So I think Skoronsky's got to be 16.
Yes.
So for me, my next couple of guys, 16, I've got Nolan Smith, the edge rusher from Georgia.
Did not make my top 50. And I know I have to explain that one.
You got some splaining.
Dude, I don't
on that one.
I've never seen somebody live off their recruiting profile longer than this guy. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a championship defense, and he played in it. and he makes a couple plays, but there is nothing about him right now that screams he should go in the first 2 rounds of this draft.
I am betting on the athleticism big time.
And that's, if you tell me that, that's totally fine.
The things that I'm betting for mainly with Nolan Smith, and it's weird to have him at 16, but there's a lot of pros and cons from this entire class going into the preseason. And it was a little, I don't want to say odd. It was just a new experience diving into these guys and ranking them and organizing my thoughts on them a lot more than I have in the past, because with the NFL draft, so much of what you do relies on that final year that they have before they declare. Right. So there's a lot of, when you have a guaranteed still season to play with these guys, sometimes it can kind of mess with your mind a little bit. When I look at Nolan Smith, I go, okay, yeah, he wasn't able to get a ton of playing time, a ton of reps, a ton of experience on that Georgia defensive line, but the effort the dude plays with is phenomenal. And he is an unreal athlete. Now, I don't think he's going to be a hand in the dirt 4-3 defensive end for you. He's going to be an outside linebacker, but I'm okay with that. Like, I really do think that with some extra reps and with a lot more experience that he's going to gain this upcoming season, that rare athleticism is something that I definitely I'm looking to bet on there. So that's why I got him at 16. I've got Will Levis at 17. Where do you have Will Levis?
He's on the board. Hold on one sec.
A lot of my board is positional value. Positional value
43.
Okay, so he's a lot lower for you. Quarterback carries a lot of weight for Will Levis, who I still think has a long way to go as a quarterback, but I do like the ceiling of what he could bring.
So I think we see him exactly the same.
Yeah,
I ranked him differently.
I think I'm ranking him a lot higher just because of the quarterback label. I got Bijan at 18, I got Peter Skoronski at 19, and then I've got Ika at 20. So we said that we've got to get we got to get Skoronski in here. So I think he's the next one on the board. Where did I have Mayer? We might be able to get Mayer in.
Yeah, because I had him 7th.
Yeah, you had him 7th. I have him 25. So this is a good spot for him. I think on the show big board. Get him at 17. Find a little bit of a middle ground coming together, if you will.
Should I go 21 to 25 here?
Yeah, let's go 20. Let's go 21 to 25. Yeah,
I think we're gonna have some common ground on at least one of these guys. Jordan Addison, the wide receiver now at USC.
I'm a little lower on Addison, but we
21st overall. Eli Ricks, your boy, 22nd. The corner at Alabama now.
Ricks will probably be close from.
Yeah. 23, another quarterback, Tanner McKee out of Stanford.
Ooh, okay. So Tanner McKee is going to be QB3 for us on the.
Yeah, I really liked him when we did that show.
Yeah. I moved. He was one of the guys who moved up a little bit for me. I had him behind Tyler Van Dyke when we went over quarterbacks. What was that? Oh shoot, man, that was
the first scouting show. It was
2 months ago. That was like 2 months ago. But I've gone back and I've rewatched a little bit more of Tyler Van Dyke, a little bit more of Tanner McKee. Came away still really impressed with what Tanner McKee was able to do. So I moved him up a little bit. So he was QB4 for me behind Will Levis, anyways.
Okay, 24, Blake Freeland, the tackle at BYU.
Ooh, he just missed my top 50.
Damn, I thought he was really good. And then 25, I know I'm gonna be really high on this guy.
He's literally 51 for me, which means we're getting him in the show. We're getting him in the show.
25, I know. I would be surprised if you had him in your top 50, but it was Devin Achane, the Texas A&M running back.
Yeah, he's not gonna be in my. He was not. That was one prospect that we saw
much differently.
Very differently. Okay, so Michael Mayer is there. My 21 through 25. I got Noah Sewell at 21.
Okay.
I've got Arik Gilbert at 22. What up?
Ugh.
I've got Andrew Voorhees.
Get on the field.
I've got look. I'd love to see it too. I've got Andrew Voorhees, the interior offensive lineman from USC, which I seem to be really bullish on him. I mean,
yes, I don't think he was in my top 50.
Player. Come on, Connor.
Well, I mean, we did the show. You're not surprised. You're not surprised.
What are we doing?
You're not surprised. We did the show. I mean, he was what? I'll go back and find the rankings.
Good football player, man.
He was my guard 4. Guard 4 usually doesn't make the preseason.
And it was
50.
egregious then. It's egregious now. Okay, so I've got Voorhees at 23. A.T. Perry at 24. So this is one of the guys that I went back and I kind of watched a little bit of A.T. Perry. I was talking with a couple of people about Perry when I had him at wide receiver 1, that we were like, okay, what do you like about him? What do you not like about him? I highlighted a lot of things about the size, speed, athleticism combination. I felt like he brought kind of that wide receiver one ability as an outside wide receiver. And then somebody was like, hey, just pay a little bit of attention to a little bit more attention when he tries to separate. It's a little bit more physical than you would want. And I went back and I noticed it and I was like, damn, they're actually right. So a decent amount of the separation that A.T. Perry will get will sometimes come from either a push off or holding the arm out from the corner. And that's sometimes an art, right? Like that subtlety about playing wide receiver, gaining that little separation through physicality, that is an art, but you don't want to rely on that too much. And I do think that at this point, Perry relies on it a little bit too much. I watched that Florida State game, and if you watch that Florida State game, it feels like he is playing at a different speed than sometimes he's playing at throughout the rest of the season. So I remember that was one game that I really watched that I went, man, this guy does have the athleticism to really be a difference maker on the outside. And then I watched, I think it's the UNC game, and he struggled to separate a little bit without that physical push off from the corners, and watch a couple of more games of him. And it's just, all right, then now there's a little bit of mixed results. So I had him move down a little bit. He's not my wide receiver anymore. Wide receiver one anymore. That was a tongue twister. But I have him at 24 here. He is still wide receiver 3 for me behind Quinn Johnston and Jackson Smith and Jigba. But just wanted to be transparent with you guys about kind of the stock up, stock down, and the why. Gives you a little bit of kind of what we'll be doing throughout the season as we kind of move guys up and down. And then I got Michael Mayer at number 25 here. So I think you can now take it away with 26 through 30 if you want to do that.
Okay, 26 through 30 here is going to be Layden Robinson, the guard from Texas A&M.
Okay. He is in my top 50, but he was lower for me.
Okay, cool.
He's like
That's good
high
to know.
40s. So.
27, Jack Campbell, the linebacker of Iowa. 28, probably one of the next guys on the board for us, Noah Sewell, the linebacker from Oregon.
Yeah.
29, I know it's not Jacqueline Roy. I gotta pull up his pronunciation. I just had it because we this is one of those guys we checked.
It's Jaqueline.
Jaqueline. I want to make sure we nailed that. Jaqueline Roy.
You say it.
The D line from LSU at 29, and then Tyler Van Dyke at 30, the quarterback from Miami. I would imagine Sewell is coming up. He's 18.
Oh, I had him at 21. I already named him.
Yeah, so he's 18 on our board.
So he's going to be 18 on our board. So if I go 26 through 30, I've got Eli Ricks at 26. You had him at 22, which is hilarious because I had him at TB1 and now I dropped him. And so he's a little bit lower for me than he was for you. Funny how that works. But he'd be next on our big board. He'd be at number 19 just because of the commonality. I had Anton Harrison, who I really like, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma.
He didn't make my top 50, but he's somebody that is obviously dangerously close. And I know you really, really, really liked him when we did that show.
Yeah, man. I think that, again, this is a guy who, the biggest issue when we went through summer scouting and we talked about him, so many snaps, over 1,000 snaps at left tackle already. Very, very experienced going into his first time eligible year as a junior. Been starting since his true freshman year. Needs to play with more play strength, but I watched some interviews of him where he said, okay, I've taken that really seriously over the summer. Hope we get to see it. Hope we see it on the field. Because if so, I think this guy's a really good offensive tackle prospect. I got Garrett Williams, the corner from Syracuse at number 28. Kayshon Boutte at 29. So I think that this is probably, we got to put him at 21 here for us.
Yep. Because I had him pretty high.
You had him where? You had him
15th.
Oh, okay. So this is a good spot.
Oh, we're actually really close on that one.
Not bad. Tanner McKee, I put in here at number 20 because where did you have him? 23. I have him at. Okay, I'm going to put Boutte first, actually.
Okay. We'll do an update of our the NFLSE board when we get to maybe 30.
You can do it right now. We got 20. We got 20 guys in there. If you want to take over.
Cool. I'll start at 10 because we already did the top 10. Jackson Smith and Jigba at 10. 11 was Cam Smith, the corner from South Carolina. 12, Andre Carter, the edge rusher from Miami. 13, Siaki Ika, the big hulking defensive tackle from Baylor. 14, Bijan Robinson, superstar weapon from Texas. 15, Brian Brzee, the former number 1 overall recruit, defensive tackle, defensive lineman from Clemson. 16, Peter Skoronski, offensive lineman. 17, tight end Michael Mayer from the Fighting Irish, Notre Dame. 18, Noah Sewell, linebacker, Oregon. 19, Eli Ricks, corner, now at Alabama. 20, Kayshon Boutte, electric wide receiver at LSU. And 21, quarterback at Stanford, Tanner McKee.
Where do you have Felix Anudike-Uzomah, the edge
47.
rusher? Oh, so you have him way down there. So because I have him. He's 12 for me.
There was a couple edges that weren't in your top 5 that I liked that were ahead of him, but it's all close because they're all outside the top 30. Like Darrell and Chami from Maryland, Zion Tupuola-Fatui from Washington, I think is going to explode this year. And then one guy like you've been kind of hinting at on the show when necessary that I have watched more film on, and I know the comments popped when we did the Edge Rusher show that I have caught up on now is BJ Ojulari from LSU. He was at 42 ahead of Felix.
Okay. So if we start at 30, let's open it up a little bit here. Go 31 to 40 just so we have a little bit more to talk about with these guys, because there's a handful of players that now we're going to have to get into some compromise, right? I think that getting to the top 20 was easy, but now like we've got some glaring players at the top of the board. Isaiah Foskey for me, Felix Anudike.
Well, we're going to get Felix on there. 47 is still a really good ranking for him. So he's going to be. I think we've got really high. So
we've got a couple of players like Broderick Jones and Paris Johnson Jr. are going to come off next because they're pretty close for me.
I had them top 20.
You got Tyler Van Dyke. Where do you have? You don't have Will Levis on your top?
Will Levis.
You do?
Where 43rd.
43rd. Okay,
your Gator hate continues. I have Anthony Richardson at 41.
Oh, I have Anthony Richardson 47, I think.
Oh, okay. So Anthony Richardson, welcome to the 40s. Or maybe not. Maybe higher.
I was wondering if we were going to get him in here. Yeah, so like compromise doesn't necessarily mean that they're going like way higher on the list, but it obviously helps.
You ready for this?
Yeah, give me 31 through 40.
31, Rakim Jarrett, the wide receiver from Maryland. 32,
oh, nice.
Cooper Beebe, the offensive lineman from Kansas State. I thought you really liked him, right?
I have him in my top 50.
Cool.
I didn't really like him. Like I liked Andrew Voorhees better than him.
Okay.
More than the gap actually suggests, but.
Jordan Battle, safety from Alabama at 33. Darrell and Chami, the edge rusher from Maryland at 34. 35, Jalen Catalon, safety from Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
36, Sam Laporta, tight end at Iowa. 37, Clark Phillips, the third cornerback at Utah. 38, Zion Tupuola-Fatui, the edge rusher from Washington. 39, Justin Jacobs, the linebacker at Iowa. 40, Garrett Williams, the corner from Syracuse.
Okay. Copying. We're definitely going to get Garrett Williams in there because I already had him a little bit higher.
Okay.
Jordan Addison, you had him at 21. I've got him at 31, so I think he's probably next for us here.
Yep.
I think you would probably be next.
Dude, where do you have Broderick and Paris?
37.
Okay.
So I think he's next.
They're coming up.
Ooh, whoa, what's the math here? Oh no, we have to do math on this show.
Well, good luck. That's the weakness of the show.
Okay.
Math is the only thing that can destroy the NFL stock exchange single-handedly.
Which is funny because the stock exchange is all about, math and numbers.
Well, it's a play on words. It's a joke.
Okay. So, all right, Broderick Johnson. I got him 35. You have him 16. Okay. That's 25.5 in the middle. And then you have Broderick.
He's doing it.
You have Broderick at 13. I have him at 37.
Okay.
So 25 on the dot.
Wow,
so we got Broderick.
You love to see it. That's beautiful.
Broderick Jones we'll put him right there at 23.
Speaking of beautiful, can I interrupt the show?
Yeah, sure.
Have you seen the TikTok of the kid being interviewed about corn? Wait, no? Okay, then we'll revisit this next time. I've been singing this. So they interviewed this little kid at a festival, like with his grandma, and he's eating corn.
For me, I really like cone. I was told that cone was real. It tasted good. I love cone. Cone.
And he's like saying it's the greatest thing on planet. It's the best interview I've ever seen. And then somebody made it into a remix song.
I really like cone.
What do you like about corn?
It's cone. A good corn that knobs. It has the juice. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing. It's cone. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I tried it, I don't anything change.
It's fairly new. We'll revisit it next week. But if anybody, I'm not a big TikTok guy. I just have to deal with it because it's all my girlfriend does every morning with coffee. I'm telling you, it's the funniest thing. So the word saying beautiful reminded me because he calls corn the most beautiful thing. All right, sorry everyone. Back to the big board. It's the funniest thing I saw this week. I hope our producer can like sneak in the video of the show somehow. Oh God, I'm done.
Where do you have Arik Gilbert?
50.
Okay, you have him at 50. I have
He's
him
hanging
at,
on by a thread.
barely hanging on. The disrespect.
I mean, he's gonna go pretty high because you have him in top 25.
I got him at 22. There's a couple outliers for us though that I want to see if I can get some math on. You don't have Foskey in your top 10 or your top 50. You don't have Felix Anudike-Azuma in your top 50.
47th.
Oh, you have him at 47.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think
he's going to be on the show.
I think he needs to be I think he's probably next.
Okay. Wait, where do you have Catalan?
Soon. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. You guys didn't lose us on the podcast.
Yeah, your iPhone didn't break, your Bluetooth headphones didn't disconnect.
I'm typing.
We're just having a time figuring it out.
Ooh, okay. So I'll just go my 31 through 40 then.
Yes, please.
Jordan Addison, wide receiver, USC. Sean Tucker, my boy, running back.
Oh, okay. So you do have another running back on here.
I have multiple running backs in here.
I only had the two I already named, Bijan and A-Chain.
Yeah, I just a lot of these guys are such good football players. It was really hard for me to keep them off. I'm going to be honest. And when I do big boards, yes, I take positional value into account. I definitely do, but it is hard for me to deny how good these guys would be like at their job.
Yeah.
And there are so many other players who I will have them around in a big board where I'll be like, I don't even like this guy that much, but I love this running back, right? Because I think that he's so good at his craft. Like I've got Sean Tucker at 32. I got Tanner McKee at 33. And then I have Blake Corum at 34. I think Blake Corum's awesome. I think he is exactly where the NFL is going. I think he is an X factor type of player. I think he's in the mold of a Bijan Robinson. And I think with no Hassan Haskins, we might see a special season from Blake Corum, the running back out of Michigan. I got Paris Johnson at 35. I got Gervon Dexter, the interior defensive lineman from Florida. I got him at 36. Just potential's too insane for me to keep him too far down this list. Broderick Jones, I got at 37. Jordan Battle, I have at 38. Jaheim Bell, the tight end from South Carolina, I have at 39. And then Cooper Beebe, I have at 40.
Okay.
So Jordan Battle's...
Well, Beebe's going to be on this.
For sure.
That's an easy one. Jordan Battle, obviously. There's a couple of easy ones now.
Is there somebody who is still extremely high for you?
Paris Johnson. Oh, you got him on there.
No, we have him on here.
You got the tackles. Okay.
Yeah. I've got Broderick Jones and Paris Johnson on here.
No. Where do you have Van Dyke?
It's a good question. Please.
You were like Mr. Tyler Van Dyke. You wrote the story.
46. He's awesome. I like Tyler Van Dyke.
Okay,
I got him at 46.
He's going to be on here soon because I had him at 46.
I think we have to do what needs to be done. No, maybe we don't. Look,
what needs to be done?
You having Foskey off of your top 50 altogether is really throwing this
Dude, I have players in the top 50 that you don't have.
No, I know, but
because you're so high on them.
Egregious is what I'm saying. Because like, what do we do with them?
Egregious.
Do we find it? Yeah, no, this is a crime. This is absolutely a crime against the scouting community. So. I mean, maybe I'm too high on him, but not in top 50 is wild.
He's gonna be on the board because you have him so high.
I know, but where do we put him?
We're getting close. If I don't have him, but you have him early, and I think he's a fine player. He's a strong player. He's reliable against the run. He can rush with power. I don't think he has the pass rush upside that a lot of these guys have, where I'd put him in the top 25.
All right, I'm going to put Jordan Battle on there because I think we're pretty close to him. I have him at 38. You have him at 33. So I'll put his name on there next. I don't have Sam Laporta in my top 50. I don't have Clark Phillips in my top 50. I don't have Justin Jacobs in my top 50. I didn't watch Fatui.
Man, you'd love him. He's a
freak show. And I didn't watch Jarrell. I didn't watch him either.
Oh, wow. I really liked him. And Chami was... he's just been hurt.
Roy.
Oh, did we not get him in there? I had him 29th.
Yeah, you have him 29th. Okay, let's keep going. Go 41 to 50, and then we can kind of
Okay, this is actually going to be easier because I know you like a lot of these guys. Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Florida, 41.
Okay.
B.J. Ojulari, the edge from LSU, 42.
Okay.
Will Levis, the quarterback from Kentucky, at 43.
Okay.
Jaheim Bell, the tight end from South Carolina, at 44. Dalton Kincaid, the tight end from Utah, at 45. Owen Papo, the freak linebacker from Auburn, at 46. Felix, I had at 47. We've talked about him almost the entire show. Osiris Torrance, I know you're a Gator hater, but the guard at Florida at 48.
Why would you
Gator
say
hater
that?
is such a good nickname for you because you literally went to Florida. 49. RJ Moten, the safety from Michigan, at 50. Arik Gilbert, the tight end of Georgia.
There he is. Arik Gilbert, baby.
It's almost a time. I want to make sure we didn't miss anybody. Okay, we got Levis on there at 28. That's good.
I just threw Levis in there. I just threw Levis in there. All right, I'm gonna give you my 41 through 50, and then we're gonna have a big counseling session for the rest of this ranking. Before I do that, gotta let everybody know that college football is back, officially back. We got college football this week, and it's time to enjoy the tradition, the fun, the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. To celebrate the best time of the year right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any team and get $200 in free bets instantly, win or lose. You just got to place $5 bet, and then you have a free $200 to play with. If that's not enough action, you can also do a same game parlay for a shot on an even bigger payout. Just combine multiple bets into one, like which team will get the win and then which team scores first, things like that. There's plenty there's plenty to go over. I mean, there's a million things that you could bet when it comes to parlays. And so there's a lot of combinations there. DraftKings is safe, it's secure, it's reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook now. Use the promo code PFF, bet just $5 on any college football game, and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's promo code PFF at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for terms and resources. If you get a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER in Tennessee. Call or text the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789 in New York. Call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY. One per new customer, minimum $5 deposit in a wager. You get $200 issued right off the bat if you do that. Also, I got to talk to you guys about a new sponsor that we have on the show. It's a really cool idea. And if you like the concept of NFL Stock Exchange, it's right up your alley. Our newest partner is revolutionizing the sports betting world and fan engagement by making sports fandom profitable. That company is Symbol, SIMBULL, the stock market for sports. Symbol was a PFF sponsor last year, and they're back for this football season. Symbol lets you trade pro and college teams like stocks and even earn cash dividend payouts when your teams win. Symbol took the thrill of sports betting and combined it with the profitability of a stock market to give you a platform where fortune favors the fans. It's a really cool concept. Y'all got to check it out. Download the Symbol app for iOS by searching SIMBULL in the App Store. Use the promo code NFLSE. Helps out the podcast to receive free team stock valued up to $150 upon signing up if you use that promo code NFLSE. The PFF team is even getting in the Symbol market themselves this season. Me and Connor both going to get our accounts set up, and we will be building our portfolios throughout the season. So sign up, compete against us, because we're going to be talking about it plenty on this show as well. Download the app, create a free account, use the promo code NFLSE, get free stock valued up to $150, and compete against me and Connor this season using Symbol. It's a really cool concept, man. This is right up our alley. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the season to get going so we can keep doing this. That's going to be fun.
Mets just hit a 3-run homer in the 7th to tie the game. So,
like you're saying, let's go for the ad read.
No, dude. I mean, yeah, but...
I mean,
7-4, now 7-7 in the 7th. This game has been on since 1:30. Trevor and I are recording this podcast at 5:30.
What?
I get it, why some people can't get into baseball.
Yeah.
It's just on all day.
All right, last of the top 50 for me. Number 41, I got safety Jalen Catalon. Number 42, Noah Daniels, the corner from TCO. I still believe.
You are the believer. And
still
you know
believe,
what, dude?
Baby.
He's very talented, so he's somebody that if you put him on the board, it's like he's a good player.
Right.
It's all there.
That's a get out of jail free card. Oldest scout trick in the book. Just put him on there, and if he gets hurt again, oh no, okay, but what could have been?
The oldest trick in the book.
I got Jahmyr Gibbs at number 43, BJ Ojulari at 44. I got Zach Evans at 45 total projection, but just brother, unbelievable athlete. I went back and I watched even more of his high school film. It's the funniest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Tyler Van Dyke, I have at 46. Layden Robinson, your boy, there we go, interior offensive lineman from Texas A&M. I got him at 47. Anthony Richardson, my boy, at 48. Jaquelin Roy at 49. And then Henry To'o at number 50.
So we're at 29 right now in the slot. We're probably looking at Roy and Richardson coming up here, I would think.
Where did you have Richardson?
I had Richardson 41st.
No, so then we got to get Layden off the board first because you got him at 26.
And you had him where?
47. So I think Layden's probably next.
Yeah, I loved his tape. I know he's got some issues to clean up in pass pro, but good lord, you want to talk about a ground game killer.
I'm looking for BJ Ojulari. Yeah, but that's later for us. And just because we have a commonality doesn't mean we have to put them higher on the list. Jack Campbell, I'm going to be honest, he was like 52 for me.
Okay, so he's going to be on this.
He's going to be on this. And then you had Freeland on here too. So I think
I had Freeland 24th.
Okay, so we're going to put Freeland on here. We're going to put Jack Campbell on here.
Campbell 31st.
We will go Van Dyke. You had him at 30.
Van Dyke, I had him 30th.
Yeah, but is there anybody else that we would have put in between? Honestly,
Catalan?
No, Isaiah Foskey probably we have to have here.
Okay. I mean, I'm throwing my hands up and surrendering.
No, I'm not listening to you.
I'm the scout in the room. This happens in scouting all the time. I'm the scout in the room that, like, when you draft that kid, he has like one bad day of practice. Like, I told you all not to draft him. Like,
where did you have Andrew Voorhees? Was he like barely out?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Because to put in perspective, I had Osiris Torrance as guard 3 at 48, and Voorhees was guard 4. So, like, he's fringe top 50.
So then I'm going to put him there.
Okay.
At 33, just because I was so much higher on him. Arik Gilbert. No, I'm probably going to put Catalan in here first.
Yep.
Jalen Catalan.
Well, and Van Dyke. I had him 30th. And you had him
47th.
You did him 47th. So we're close. We're getting close.
Yeah, Tyler Van Dyke. Who's the name I just said? Oh no!
Did we get Anthony Richardson on here yet?
Not yet. But we're only at 35. You know, I'm trying to take care of some of the guys that you had a little bit higher.
Yep.
Arik Gilbert, I think, has got to be here at 36. That just makes sense. Is there anybody within your top 20 that we are missing? Because I don't think so.
No.
Because we got to do the math then.
No, they're all in there.
How close was Anton Harrison? All right, so 3 guys for me that I'm curious on with your thoughts and how close they were to your top 50. A.T. Perry, Anton Harrison, and Brian Branch.
So the problem I have with it is that I had Brandon Joseph over Branch, and he didn't make my top 50.
Joseph didn't make my top 50 either.
Yeah. Perry, I'm really torn on Perry, honestly. Like, I liked Rakim Jarrett a lot better than him.
Did you?
I just think Perry's not overly he's a giant. He plays big. He's an older prospect that doesn't play from a very explosive style of football.
These are fair
and
things.
That combination terrifies me. So he's like a true watch and see guy for me this year.
Okay. All right. I put Jaquelin Roy at 37 because I had him 49 and you had him 29. So shoot, actually, should probably have him higher, right?
Yeah, that wouldn't really make any sense. He should be a couple spots up, which is an easy fix.
Yeah.
So so we got Voorhees on here and we got Freeland on here. The only tackle that he's not in my top 50 that I had over Anton Harrison, it was Javon Foster, and it was really a coin flip on that show. I said it on that show. So Harrison's going to be on this pretty soon.
Okay.
Because of how high you value him and the fact that I still think he's a solid player.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna put him in now. I'm just
one we're getting. Ooh, one we borderline are forgetting is Cooper Beebe.
Ooh,
I had him 32nd, and you had him
32?
40th. So he's got to be on here now.
Okay. So, well, we could put him a little bit higher, actually. I think is probably
he's
what
probably
we should
right
do.
over Arik Gilbert, maybe even higher.
Okay, so let's Cooper, maybe Jaquelin Roy, and then I'm pasting the rest. So now we're 39 in. We're 39 deep.
Yeah, we're getting to the finish line here.
Thank God. All right, 39. We have Anton Harrison. So here are some players that we're still trying to figure out. The biggest one for me is going to be Perry and Branch.
Yeah.
Branch is probably going to be on here. I know you're very high on him. It's not like I didn't like the player. I just said I want to see more from him in coverage.
Where did I have him? 30th.
You had him 30th. He's got to be on here.
He's got to be close. So I'll ask, and here's might be a better way to do it. I'm going to look at some of the guys that you have left, and I'm going to talk about players who might have been just outside of my top 50.
Yes.
And you do the same with mine, and I think that's a good way to do it. BJ Ojulari, we should probably get on here anyways.
Oh, yeah.
BJ Ojulari, because both of us did have him on here.
I didn't realize how high you were on Jaheim Bell.
Yes.
39th, and I have him 44th, so he's right in the spot right now.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll do that.
I missed that one.
Jakeem Bell, or
42nd.
Jakeem Bell, the tight end from South Carolina, ultimate X-weapon kind of a player. It feels like less of a tight end and more of just somebody that you utilize in a lot of different offensive ways.
Yeah, that Jonnu Smith player.
Yes, that was a really great way that you put that there. I put Anthony Richardson at 41. I feel like that's a good spot. You had him at 41.
Yep.
I had him at 48, so this is up at the top of where we would put him.
The players you have that were fringe for me that should be coming up. Ooh, good question. Let's take a look here.
So like Clark,
Jahmyr Gibbs. Absolutely.
Okay.
I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I had him running back 3, and yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs, absolutely.
Okay, we can put Jahmyr Gibbs on there.
Brian Branch, for sure.
Okay, all right.
For sure.
All right, we're going to go Brian Branch, and then...
If you have him 30th, and I have him ballpark 60 to 70, he's got to be on this.
Yeah, he really does. Is there anybody else? A.T. Perry,
Perry's going to be a close call.
He's got a shot. Close call. Devin A. Chain, man. I don't think we're going to get him on here. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I don't think we're getting him on here.
Jordan
Battle, I want to make sure. Did we miss him?
No, we talked about him. He's 27th on our board right now.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there he is. I'm a fool. It's fine. Clark Phillips is close for me, so I feel like we should probably put him in.
I loved him.
Yeah.
Loved him.
I didn't watch Jacobs.
Yeah, he's going to be really good.
It
might take a little while, but he's going to be really good.
Where was Laporta for me? He couldn't have been that far down. No, he wasn't. Laporta was not that far down for me. Ooh, neither was Kincaid. Interesting. Close. All right, we'll go Laporta next.
Okay. We're almost through it here.
We're at 46. Oh, where are you on Gervin Dexter?
He did not make my top 50.
Is he anywhere close?
Yeah, he's another one of those guys that would be in that 60 to 75 kind of range.
Okay,
so
I had him at 36.
I forgot how high. I didn't see him there. Okay, so he's going to be on this.
He'll be next. Sean Tucker or Blake Corum? Do anything for you?
Sean Tucker.
Okay, we might get Sean Tucker in here. I've got him at 32.
Yeah, I would hold off at the moment on the running back. Where are you on Owen Papo?
So I didn't watch enough of Papo to be super confident about an evaluation right now. I've just seen him live over the last couple of years. And so he's somebody that I've still got to watch more of, which is kind of where this gets a little bit complicated. But
sure, I mean you're one man show. I'm a one man show. We can't
get through everybody in the summer before the draft.
We got 3 spots left. We got 48, 49, and 50.
Like Rakim Jarrett is somebody I feel very strongly about. I'm trying to think who else. That's really it. Like that's the last guy where I'm like, and the other guys are all like Justin Jacobs is a projection guy. Even Zion, I know he's lost some weight and I think he's going to explode this year, but he's had a long injury road lately. So did we do BJ Ojolari? We did. BJ Ojolari was 40th.
I got him in there. Yeah, he's 40th for us. Yeah.
Okay. Did we end up getting we didn't get Felix in here? Oh, we did. 26. Okay, I apologize. I missed that one.
There's a lot to keep a lot to keep
Noah
track
Daniels maybe is hanging on here. That's an interesting one.
How much
to
did
me.
you like him?
Oh, dude, what's there on film? He's great. He in 4 or 5 years he barely ever plays.
Nah, I'm doing it.
But what is there to watch? He's really good.
Doing it.
So nobody can look at him on a top 15. The hell is Noah Daniels here? Like, so that's a pretty easy argument. Dalton Kincaid, I think, is going to be.
I think I have to put Devin A. Chain at 50.
Okay, great. I mean, you're not going to hear it from me.
He's 60 for me.
Oh, then yes.
He's 62 for me, and he's
I have 25.
You have him at 25.
Yeah. Speed kills, dude. He's going to be this year's ETN. I'm telling you right now.
He's your Isaiah Foskey. Okay, well,
yeah.
That's the 50. But before we read it off, I mean, is there anybody that has not made this list that you got to pound the table for?
I mean, guys that didn't make the list that I'll tell you right now that I think are just going to be great this year. Zion Tupuolu-Fatui.
I actually think we got to put A.T. Perry in here instead of Noah Daniels for as much as I.
Okay.
Because I got him.
That's your slot, so
right,
you get that one.
I have him so high on my rankings.
Yeah. Zion's the guy I'm disappointed isn't on here. I mean, once again, Justin Jacobs needs to show it, so I'm not, furious at that one by any stretch of the means. I'm really glad we got Rock. The one that would have pissed me off is I think Rakim Jarrett's going to be. Maryland's a hard team to figure out sometimes, but I think he's going to be really good.
The one that really would have pissed me off.
Would have really pissed because I would have been like
the one that would have made me. Quit
I warned
the pod.
you. I warned you. We could have been the pod to have him in the top 50. Yeah, no, this looks good. I really didn't think it was actually that hard of an exercise. We really worked hand in hand. I mean, we kind of went with the, we found the mean somewhere.
We did. We tried. We tried to. And
yeah.
for you guys out there, we're gonna try to make the big board viewable. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it during the season, but we were actually
kind of figuring that out now.
We were talking about that last week. How to make
I tried to hack the website and they wouldn't. They told me no. You don't. They're like, you actually don't technically work here, so no. And I was like, that's a good point. I was like, that's a really reasonable response.
That is a reasonable explanation that we just came to there. Okay, so let's do it. Let's read off the top 50 then. Unless there's okay. When we're going through this, if we want to change something, I guess we can discuss it.
Yeah.
If not, let's go through the top 50. This collaborative NFLSE 2023 big board going into the season. I will do. You want me to do 15? First 15, and then you do the next 15, and then I'll take us home. You want to do that?
Yes. I'll chime in here somewhere.
Okay, there we go.
I'm the setup man.
We got Will Anderson at number 1. That was consensus. As I'm looking at our NFLSE board adjacent to my big board and Connor's big board.
Getting wasn't hard.
That's a consensus at number 1. Jalen Carter at number 2, also a consensus. Got Bryce Young at number 3, CJ Stroud at 4, Miles Murphy at 5, Antonio Johnson, the safety nickel player from Texas A&M, number 6. Keely Ringo, the corner from Georgia, at 7. Quentin Johnson, the wide receiver from TCU, number 8. Trenton Simpson, the linebacker, do-it-all defense Superman, it feels like, for Clemson, at 9. Jackson Smith and Jigba, the wide receiver from Ohio State, at 10. Cam Smith, the corner from South Carolina, at number 11. Andre Carter, the edge rusher from Army, at number 12. Siaka Ika, the interior defensive lineman from Baylor, at 13. Bijan Robinson, look at that. We got a running back in the top 15 in a PFF pod at number 14. Brian Brzee, the interior defensive lineman from Clemson, at number 15.
16, Peter Skoronsky, the offensive lineman from Northwestern. 17, Michael Meyer, the tight end from Notre Dame. 18, Noah Sewell, linebacker from Oregon. 19, Eli Ricks, the corner now at Alabama. 20, Keishawn Butte, electric wide receiver from LSU. 21, Tanner McKee, quarterback, Stanford. 22, Jordan Addison, wide receiver now at USC. 23, will be his first year as a full-time starter, tackle Broderick Jones for your championship Bulldogs. 24, Paris Johnson, offensive lineman, kicking out to his natural position at tackle this year, Ohio State. 25, Garrett Williams, a corner from Syracuse. 26, Felix Anudike Uzama, edge rusher from Kansas State. 27, Jordan Battle, safety at Alabama, surprise non-declaration last year. 28, quarterback Will Levis, the man from the University of Kentucky that puts mayo in his coffee. 29, 29, guard Layden Robinson from Texas A&M. 30, Blake Freeland, tackle from BYU.
All right, Cooper Beebe, the interior offensive lineman from Kansas State. 31, Jaquelin Roy, the interior defensive lineman from LSU at 32. Jack Campbell, the linebacker from Iowa at 33. Isaiah Foskey, finally off the board at number 34, the edge rusher from Notre Dame. Andrew Voorhees, the interior offensive lineman from USC at 35. Jalen Catalon, the safety from Arkansas at 36. God, Jalen, please be healthy. We're going to skyrocket you up this list if you're healthy. Tyler Van Dyke, the quarterback from Miami at 37. Arik Gilbert, the tight end / wide receiver, whatever he is now for Georgia at 38. Anton Harrison, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma at 39. BJ Ojulari, edge rusher from LSU at 40. Anthony Richardson, the quarterback from Florida at 41. Jaheim Bell, the tight end from South Carolina at 42. Brian Branch, the do-it-all defensive back from Alabama at 43. Jahmyr Gibbs, Alabama's running back at number 44. Clark Phillips, the third corner from Utah at 45. Sam Laporta, the tight end from Iowa at 46. Gervin Dexter, the interior defensive lineman from Florida at 47. Raheem Jarrett, the wide receiver from Maryland at 48. A.T. Perry, the wide receiver from Wake Forest at 49. And Devin Achane, the running back speed demon from Texas A&M at number 50. Some guys that we did not get on our collective top 50 here. Sean Tucker, the running back from Syracuse from my list. He was in the 30s. Blake Corum was as well. I like both those guys a lot. Noah Daniels, the corner from TCU, extremely talented guy, just hasn't played a lot because of injury. Zach Evans, another really talented running back as well. Henry To'oTo'o, a athletic linebacker from Alabama who I had at number 50. But, I mean, I think it's about it. I think that we got the rest of them from my list. Who do we not get from yours?
Darrell Nchami, the edge rusher from Maryland. I think he has some of the best bend and ankle, flexion turn in this class. He's had a lot of injuries at Maryland, unfortunately, but when he's on the field, he's an impact player. Clark Phillips did make it. Okay, we did get that one in there at the end. Zion Tupola Fatui, the edge rusher from Washington. Those are the real big ones for me. I mean, I think Dalton Kincaid and Owen Papo can have big years, but nobody's losing their mind over them not being in the top 50.
That was fun, man. That was fun.
It's going to be fun to track.
I've never done anything like that before. No. And for everybody who made it this far on the podcast, they're like, yeah, buddy, I could tell with all the dead silence that we had throughout the show. So I apologize for that. But truly, this podcast is something that hopefully you guys feel is very genuine, because that's what it is. Not that we don't like to be organized. We like to be as organized as possible, but we also like doing exercises that we've never done before, because we
it's
think
not TV, man.
A lot of fun.
It's as simple as that. Like we don't look at
it's
this.
It's not TV yet. Come on, don't cap us. If anybody out there runs a television network and you guys want a show, I mean, look, you just hit us up.
I mean, we're on all the time. So yes, it is a very open-ended conversation, and I had a blast with it, dude. And I love seeing how our stuff starts conversation on social, not in the way of like Steph Curry's not a good shooter, but in the way of like,
they told me Steph Curry couldn't shoot.
They told me Steph Curry couldn't shoot. Oh man, it's one of my favorite running jokes on this podcast. Not in that way, but more in an actual intellectual way.
Dude, this was a lot of fun. Like we said, middle and at the beginning of the podcast, this is something that we are going to reference through the first, I'll say like the first half of the season. We're going to go back and we're going to talk about what the top 50 is that we established going into the year. Really, once we start getting into November and December, that's when we'll really have enough concrete evidence, I think, to start moving guys a lot, maybe just in the big board in that regard. But it feels really good to have something out there, something concrete, something that we collaborated on, that we worked with. Let us know where we're crazy, right? I know that you guys out there watch a lot of these prospects as well. Big college football fans, big NFL fans, big NFL draft fans. You guys have some great opinions, some great insight that sometimes we watch a lot of these guys. Sometimes we miss these little things.
It's going to happen. We are one-man scouting department, so I cannot reference that enough.
Now we're a two-man because we have a collaborative big board. So
technically, this is the first time in my life where, yes, I am part of a multi-person scouting department.
Two-man scouting department. And if we add the sex addicts in it, then it's a full scouting staff. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
yeah.
People who are just now listening to the podcast are still thrown off every time we call the listeners of the podcast.
Never gets old.
The sex addict. So a little inside joke. Sorry for everybody that's
now they're in.
Now they're in. Now you're on the inside. Now you're on the inside joke. Not sure it's a great one, but you know that now you're in on it. So appreciate it, guys. Appreciate you listening. Let us know. Like I said, we'd love to hear your thoughts about where guys are, who's on the list, who's not on the list. Let us know. Hit us up on Twitter, Connor J. Rogers at Tampa Bay Trey. That's where you can find us. Thursday's episode of the podcast on the schedule, Connor, I have top 10 teams in college football that we are watching this year from a scouting perspective. And then also going through the college football schedule every single week and finding at least one, probably a handful of like scouting matchup games that I want you guys to have on your calendar going into the season. Does that sound good to you?
That sounds perfect to me. Let's keep the draft momentum rolling right now with the show before we just get bombarded with NFL madness.
But we are still going to give you guys a mock draft at some point before the NFL season comes out. So we had to get the big board established first. Yeah. Next is going to come the mock draft, but that'll be coming shortly. Before then, we're going to talk the top 10 matchups that you are going to want to have circled on your calendar when it comes to a scouting perspective for the upcoming 2022 college football season. That's coming on Thursday. I'm Trevor. That's Connor. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. This has been the NFL Stock Exchange.